Here's a whiny update video about a night of racing that started off pretty awesome and ended in crushing disappointment. I had good speed all night long on what I would describe as a violently challenging racing surface. Despite the track conditions, I managed to run the fastest lap in qualifying by nearly a whole second. Ran all but 2 laps in the feature in the 19-second range. It all came down to the last 2 laps of the feature where I got completely screwed over. I'll start from the top. Went out for the qualifier, and I was able to run the car as hard as I wanted to, given the track conditions. I clicked off a 19.411, and that had me started second row outside in the heat next to Alex. Green flag dropped, Alex went low and made his way out front by turn 1. I was hunting for a gap to squeeze through and ended up getting crammed in turn 2. By the time we made it back around to turn 2 in the second lap, I had made it up to second place. The third time we hit turn 2, I snuck by Alex on the bottom side. Ended up sending my car into turn 3 on the very bottom, and out of nowhere, the back of my car decided that it wanted to be in the front. I pretty much realized right then that the low line was not a good place to be in turns 3 and 4. It was then that they threw a yellow when Brody had broke down. We lined back up, and I ended up finishing first with Alex right behind me. Ended up in the redraw, and Cordell and Joe Flume were in heat number 2, and they were in the redraw. My kid drew a 1 for me. Alex ended up starting next to me. He got a 2, and Cordell was behind me. Feature time was when I apparently forgot how to drive a manual. I completely missed second gear like 3 times on starts throughout the night. We went green in the feature, and I put a half a car length on Alex before I shifted into neutral instead of second, and he just pulled away. He went high into turn 1 and got big air jumping a rut, and I managed to pull ahead. I did another lap, found the ruts in turn 1, which really disrupted my car, and I found the high line exiting turn 2 is way soft. Came around to 1 and 2 again on the next lap, and my car starts to hop, then loop coming out of turn 2. I had my wheel turned hard to the right, trying to correct, and Cordell blasted me in the door. He had really good speed coming off the bottom of turn 2 and didn't really have anywhere to go. It was just a racing thing there. We lined back up, and I didn't miss second gear this time. After a lap, I had a straightaway gap on Alex. I saw a car pull into the infield after a lap or so, and they never threw a caution. I ended up doing another 8 solid laps out front, carefully navigating lap traffic with more than a straightaway gap on Landon in second. Alex ended up jumping the berm and hit a tractor tire, so he ended up pulling into the infield. They suddenly decided to throw a yellow flag for that. Nothing on the radio was said. I just happened to see the flag man when I was coming off of turn 4. Then I saw the lights. This was with 2 laps to go. We lined back up, and apparently all hell broke loose behind Landon and I. Cars were hitting each other. Cars were broke. I don't know what the deal was back there, but it was pretty crazy.
What is going on?
They called off the green, and we did a couple more yellow laps while they towed some cars off. They got all that cleaned up, and we lined back up to try the start again. Radio said green next time by, and I took off. missing second gear yet again. I ripped through turns 1 and 2, then suddenly in the bottom of turn 3, Landon flew up next to me. We hit, then he bounces off my car like 3 more times, pushing me up to the wall. I keep racing, but my car now handles like garbage. I make it around to turn 3, and the car just dives towards the infield on its own, and I have to fight to keep it on the track. They throw another yellow, and I know my car is hurt. The steering was terrible, and I was pretty sure I had a flat tire. I wasn't 100% sure if it was a flat tire or if I was dragging a tractor tire underneath my car when I jumped the berm in turn 3. This is where it gets interesting. I drive down the front stretch, drive right past a track worker and track vehicle in the middle of the track, picking up debris or doing something out there. Come around turns 1 and 2, hit the back stretch. There's another track vehicle and track worker out of the car, picking up trash or doing something out there. Yellow lights, still flashing. Make it past the exit chute, still nothing from the radio about going green. I casually drive past the entrance chute, fully expecting another caution lap, when 4 cars drive right past me. It wasn't until turn 1 that I even realized that we were racing again. I was ready to go full send with that flat tire on the last lap, but I never even knew we were going green. I don't think I've ever been more upset with myself than I was in that moment. All of the hard racing I did all night long went right out the window. Probably one of the most disappointing things to ever happen to me on the track. I don't even know what to say about it. I know my race receiver was working. I double and triple checked it. I looked on the in-car video. It was connected. It was on. I don't even know what to say about it. Now all I have is a torn up race car, a tech guy that's pissed at me, and a crowd of people that are talking all sorts of shit. This is one of those massively discouraging moments where I need to take a step back and assess what I really want to do moving forward. I'm still doing decent in the points race, currently holding on to second place with the only goal set of finishing at least third by the end of the season. I've always had a goal to improve where I finished in points with each season I've raced, and it's gone from 6th in points during my rookie season in 2021 to 5th in points in 22 and 4th in points last year. And I'd really like to keep that momentum going. I really don't want to come off like a whiner, but I don't know. Maybe I'm viewing this wrong. Well, since I'm standing here, I guess I'll just show you the carnage. That hit from Cordell was actually pretty substantial. And the door's all mushed in. I don't think my phone's going to focus too much on it, but that B-pillar's smacked in pretty good. I haven't looked under the car yet. I might take that door off, I might not, I don't know. Landon's hit was far more substantial. That strut is touching the inner body. This wheel has a ton of negative camber, which, as you know, should have positive camber. This is the 3rd inner tie rod that got bent this year. And what really did me in was when he hit me, he literally sliced the valve stem in 2. That's what took that tire down. If they would have stayed green, I would have probably been able to finish. If they would have stayed green when Alex went into the infield, I would have finished. But that was the cards I was dealt. And I guess I'll get this thing fixed up. I really don't have any other option. Yeah. Disappointing.